Welcome to We Love to Hate Everything. I'm Jody, and along with my long-distance bestie Amanda, we live to break down all the things we love to hate. Each week, we scour TV, TikTok, and pop culture and deliver you our unfiltered, snarky takes on everything. Take a moment to subscribe on YouTube so you catch all our live streams and shows, and follow the links in the banner to subscribe to our free weekly podcast and 2 Patreon shows, We Love to Hate TV and Total Request Podcast, where you request the shows and we break them down. Once subscribed, you have instant access to our massive library of hundreds of past shows and recaps. We promise you'll love it. And listen, we're all friends here, so let us hear from you in the comments. We love getting to know you, and we hope you enjoy the show. All right, let's go. Hello, Amanda. Welcome to We Love to Hate Everything.
Jody's
Jody.
back. I'm Amanda.
I'm back. I have a little surprise for you.
What?
I have a little surprise for you.
Oh, are you wearing a Canada shirt?
Oh, shoot. How did you know?
Well, you just went like this. And your boobs are
okay. Little big Canada. It's a very big
I'm always
country.
looking at them. Yeah, I even put this. I even got this little banner, and I was gonna reprimand you for not wishing me Happy Canada Day, but you remembered.
I did. I'm all
July
ready
1st.
to go.
Yeah, we snuck in there like
July
3 days
2nd.
before you. Well, yeah, but yesterday I didn't.
Do you know what else yesterday was?
What?
My old anniversary, but broke it in with a new car. I mean, like a new used car.
Oh yeah, what kind?
Yeah. An Audi Q.
Oh,
it's a used, whatever. Like, don't get too excited, okay?
I still got my eye on that red VW Beetle. And do you know that Justine has the same car
as you?
No, she drives a red Beetle.
Okay,
so,
well, Justine's hot, so I think you should get
So what are you saying with that then? I should not.
You're going to be super hot, and you could take the top all the way down.
Hers is not a convertible. I'm thinking about not doing the convertible.
That would be a good idea in Canada.
Yeah, but it does get hot here, Jody. I feel like I'm going to be driving around with the thing all the way down, like all through winter. My eyelashes just have like icicles hanging off of them. I'll have you know that I think it was the one with Carling that I did a couple weeks ago. There was no banner, or I think you had made the banner. I just totally forgot about how we put the banner up before pressing live. So for like 5 entire seconds, I pressed go live, and then it was like me going like fixing my hair and shit, and then I was like, oh. So it's good to have you back. So I don't have to do that shit.
Oh, it's so good to be here. We are bright and early this morning because we're having my mom, Carol. It's her 80th birthday party today. So we're having a big shindig for her.
I see that I have a spelling error in the banner that I made, so that's great.
Log off the grill.
Load the grid. Yeah, go through the stuff that we're doing. I'll put up the pictures as you go.
Oh, okay, great. So yeah, we have Living Off the Grid. I'm actually watching. I just finished maybe the 3rd or 4th episode. Love Off the Grid. Sorry. They're living and loving off the grid. I kind of enjoy the show.
You really took to the show. Of all shows in the goddamn world, this is the one that catches Jody's attention.
Because it is purely a put on the TV. You're not paying attention at all. You catch a little snippet and you're not missing anything. You know, it's just stupid. It's lame. But, you know, I wanted to see how the Jason Momoa's little brother, let's put that in quotes, and Angela are working out. Shocking. Not too good.
He doesn't like the heat. He does
not like the heat. Do you know they never had sex? Never in the 5 years they knew each other.
Oh, really?
And they still haven't. I mean, but I get it. It's very hot outside.
It's an amazing. It's an amazing show. I mean, we had fun recording that episode, so that'll be up this week.
That's right. And then we also have Sister Wives. We're on season 7. We're blasting through the Brown family. we're going to be coming up in the next week or two on the episode where Cody Michael, the shitter explodes on his shoes and he gets real upset.
Oh God, I can't fucking wait. Hi, Julie's here, reunited. She says, "Oh yes."
Oh, Julie.
Yeah, and then I did, of course, didn't. I put up the picture, but I guess it didn't load for some reason. But then also on Amanda Loves to Hate Teen Mom, I just put up an episode a couple days ago, and it's Mom versus Mom with where they all meet in New York, and Farrah and Macy get into that big fight, and it's so funny.
Yeah, Farrah doesn't like fake people, does she?
I don't deal with it because I don't like that kind of negative energy in my life. I don't know about you. But me and I have a guest, Alyssa, who's been on my show a few times, and we both kind of were on Farrah's side the entire time. She didn't really do anything wrong the whole episode. It was very strange. Yeah. I do want to take a second here to really extend my thanks to Julie, Carling, and Justine, because it's a lot to make someone go live with you.
Yeah, and I should say thank you too.
They did, and they all did so well. Honestly, I feel like my friendship with all three of them grew through doing that, because you're putting so much trust in someone to to do this 2 hours long.
Right.
And it's oh God, are we going to be able to go back and forth for that long? And all three of them were hilarious and awesome, and I'm just so proud of them. And I feel like at any moment, if something got fucked up or I had to go take a hard acid liquid shit at some point, all three of them could have continued without freaking out.
I mean, do you want me to just jump out the window right now because you obviously hate me?
No, I was just, but I really do want to thank all three of them.
No, of course,
they did so good. And I'll it's hard to explain how difficult this is. So okay. All right.
Thank you, Amanda. Now I seriously feel like I need a therapy session, but
Why? No, it's good. It was good.
No, it was good. Yeah, no, you're hilarious. And seriously, even if you don't watch Teen Mom, I mean, obviously all of you are here because Amanda's hilarious, and that's where you originally.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely the favorite between the two of us for sure.
Go listen. It's hilarious. You don't have had to watch Teen Mom. It's so good. You're back.
I'm back. It's rough getting those. It's really rough doing those notes though. I was talking to Justine about this, that those solo podcasts, you're literally sitting down and writing a
2-hour stand-up, just much like Che.
Yeah. Much like Che is, which obviously we're going to be talking about that later. That's going to be the belle of the ball.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah.
Anything else?
What do you... nothing else.
We're just smashing dat I mean, there's 38 of you here. Although we did wake you guys up at the ass crack of dawn on a Sunday.
My God, I wanted to die when my alarm went off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Hello everybody. Mary's Wet Bar. See you didn't you miss all these listeners?
I did. I seriously did. I'm happy to be back.
All right.
Oh, drinking dat coffee. What does your mug say?
It says all my kids have paws, and it was given to me by Auntie Debbie.
Oh God.
I didn't buy this. I actually like the mug. It's a huge mug. But it's yes, I get it. I'm single and
stop it. Hey, listen, as someone who is now single and has children, it is very difficult, especially in the summer. So you did it the right way. I mean, I love my kids, but
by not having children or being married.
Yeah, you're so good. All right. Well, we have lots to talk about.
I got a few things at the top here. Now I don't know how much you're keeping on top of this, but it's all my entire TikTok is. Are you following this Miranda Sings shit?
I'm so glad you brought this up. Okay, so wait, leave this up here for just a second.
Okay.
Paige and I have been following this because Paige was a Miranda Sings person, right? I think even if you were a fan of hers, you knew who she was, right?
Yeah.
This is Colleen Ballinger. There's a line while she's singing this right here. This is just a little photo of her with her uke, where she says something about my little bony back. And it's so so weird.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
On top of everything else is where I was like, okay, must be nice to see my widow pony back. Like, that's where I officially turned on her.
I mean, just why did you do this, girl? So for anyone who doesn't know, it's been
or whatever the hell that line was. I know you're gonna her team told her she couldn't say anything, but they didn't say she couldn't sing anything.
But they didn't say I couldn't sing, ukulele bitches. Oh. Awful. And but she was accused several years ago. I remember it that she sent this like pair of like underwear that was brand new. It wasn't her underwear.
It was like Miranda's granny panties.
Yeah, or something. Wasn't like she was doing like an unboxing with like her gay bestie on a live, but her entire like fan base is like kids between like 10 and 20 basically.
Sure.
So she was doing an unboxing, and somebody sent her like an underwear set, like a bra and undies set. So the guy put them on like over his clothes and whatever, and they're all laughing. They're both laughing. I don't really know what was so funny about it, but one of her regulars, like one of the people that like always tuned in with her, and she like kind of knew him, and they had messaged back and forth, which also not a great idea. Was like, oh, I want those. And then so she's like, oh my God, should I send them? So she sends the underwear. Now, in that context, it doesn't sound that bad, but still, like, how stupid are you to do? Like, there's got to be a moment in your mind where it's like, should I not do this? And that should be enough.
I'm sending this to an underage fan, even though it wasn't like
he was like 13. Yeah. It's just inappropriate. It's just there needs to be boundaries here. So that happened, but then it kind of went away because she did like an apology or an explanation video, but she cut out, like, she was like, well, here's what actually happened, and then she'd show clips, but she cut out like little parts of the clips where it
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. And then I guess
there was also something during a live show. Is that what you're gonna say? Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead and say.
So she was doing a concert, which I guess she would pull fans up on stage, and I saw a TikTok. This is where you always get the most accurate news. And this now young woman who was a teen at the time went up on stage, and she said something like, I have a romper on or a jumper dress or something.
Oh yes, I saw this one too.
Yeah, and she was afraid that she was going to be exposing herself because either she didn't have underwear on or just wasn't appropriate.
Let me jump in really quick because
please do.
The girl who was like 14, 15, she's like, well, and this in itself is an insane thing, is that she's like, well, I dress kind of slutty because I wanted to be like in the stripper section of her show, or the porn section, which, why is there a porn section in your show? And then she's like, but then she ended up pulling me up for like the stripper section or something. But like both things, like, this should not be part of your fucking show when most of your audience are children.
Right.
So, anyway, so continue.
Well, Adam is telling us that her name is Becky. And pretty much like she exposed herself to an entire audience.
There's a screenshot of it of like Miranda. She's on the ground and Miranda has her legs like spread open, and she's like, it was just really traumatizing because
it's like an arena. And it's on film forever.
And you couldn't see anything, but still, it's like you're wearing a romper where like the shorts are really like loose. So like that's all you're thinking about is, oh my God, is my fucking vagina out right now?
Right. Which just like even that position alone, whether you had on stretch pants or jeans, to be like spreading some teen's legs, period. Whether you're seeing anything.
Of your show. I mean, this shouldn't be part of your show. And if you have these little sections like that, you shouldn't be choosing kids to come up on stage. Choose like some like 50-year-old man or something.
Yeah. I mean,
like I used to do shows where like I had to like interact with audience members, like sitting on their lap and stuff. And like, isn't it just common sense that you would not do that to a child?
I would think so. I mean, I can't even come to her defense. I was going to play devil's advocate. The other really creepy part about this is that it's not just her. I mean, obviously there are hundreds of people that are putting these productions on, and no one was like, hey, it went too far tonight. Let's not leave this part in the show. no
She
one
has
thought
a
it was
whole
inappropriate?
team of people. Like, it's what it's uh like when I listen to Doughboys live shows, they'll like
Okay.
sometimes there'll be like a child in the audience and they always call it out. They're always like, "Are you like, you know what this is, right?" Like we're
Right.
talking about cum for most of this episode. So
Oh
uh
God.
but
Right.
she so here people are chiming in here. Well, first
Yes.
Amy says, Jody, could you be any more beautiful?
You're lovely. Thank you,
What am I,
Amy.
chopped liver? But
No.
anyway, Andy says she has group chats with these children where they make jokes about inappropriate stuff. Not great. Adam says she was 16 at the time and she dressed slutty because Colleen asked them to. Great. And Spoiled Artist says poor kid just wanted to be picked to be on stage. Yeah, because it's Miranda. It's like your buddy.
Right. Yeah, I didn't realize too that her family is now famous. Like her sister and stuff, or there's like a family sort of dynamic thing. And
well, I don't know about that.
She's got, I think, a son and then twins or something. She does look kind of unhealthy in that video.
That's another thing that people don't like about her is that she puts her kids on her Instagram and TikTok all the time.
Okay, I didn't know that. Paige was just filling me in. My daughter Paige was filling me in, like, oh yeah, she's got kids now, and so I don't know if it's like a mommy vlogger sort of thing. But
I watched like a few years ago. I watched like a video. It wouldn't have been on TikTok, but it was like some video of her and her husband deciding to consciously uncouple, and they're
cute.
They're like talking. It's like, hey, well, you don't need to tell us this, but. Yeah.
And actually, Paige filled me in on that I guess her ex-husband did a little video and was like, yeah, I experienced this too, or something like that. Like her not taking accountability. And I mean someone should have told her, don't put this out.
Out of all of these people. And but like we're Miranda's age. She's like in her late 30s, I think. And
yeah, me too.
Like, it just yeah. No, I'm definitely not. There's definitely not a 4 in my age.
Not at all.
Just us as like it's hard to imagine being that stupid, and like I want to believe that like she isn't grooming these kids because she's like attracted to them or whatever, but like that's kind of giving her a little too much benefit of the doubt at this point.
Yeah, let's just put this back up again.
Like what is she doing? Like what is she?
She doesn't look well here.
No, she does not look well. Her tiny little bony back, Geordie.
Yeah.
I don't know if she
seems like a spiral.
Yeah, and I think it's just she got so famous so quickly, and a lot of her fan base is children, and so that's exciting. You get kind of wrapped up in it, but at this point, like, come on now.
Right. Oh, we're getting filled in here. Her family's also fundy Christians, I'm pretty sure, which adds to a whole nother layer of weird. Interesting. Didn't know about that angle. All right.
Yeah.
Wow, we're getting lots of comments here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited everyone actually is following this, because I just assumed this was like me and Nick would get this on our algorithm, because we like the voice we do is Miranda's voice.
I'm sorry, you have to keep doing.
Oh,
I'm not do that voice. It's your version. Like now it's just Nick and Amanda. It's not Miranda. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So Spoiled Artist says she is under the delusion that the adult joke goes over the heads of kids. She is a family vlogger with 3 million followers. Her character, Miranda Sings, has 9 million followers. Yeah.
Interesting. Elise girl, has she always been this skinny? In her ukulele video, she looked gaunt. She really did.
She's always been thin, but she looked healthy before. This looks like she's going through
the toxic gossip train. Oh, someone else also called out where she's like, oh, I just came up with this little ditty, and they pulled up an old video of her, like she forgot to get her husband or ex-husband an anniversary gift, and so she sang him a song, and it was the same little strumming thing.
Yeah, so it's like it's probably just like a 145. Julie says, I don't think she's into kids. She just thinks she's funny, but she's not. She never has been. She was funny, though. I love
the Miranda stuff was funny. It was so stupid. It was funny.
It was funny back in the day when people didn't realize that it was a joke. So she would get all these horrible comments, and it was hilarious. But
it's not something. I wonder if the Miranda Sings like there was a show on Netflix, right? Like Haters Back Off, which I don't think did that well. And I think the reason is because now people just want to binge stuff, and it's not a bingeable thing because it can get annoying really quickly.
Yeah, it's kind of a chore to watch that show. I think I watched
and
like
the beauty of it. Yeah, I did too. The beauty of it is that at that time, YouTube, like it would be like one thing a week, and you'd be like, "Oh my god, a new thing just came out," and it was like, "Oh, I can't get enough of it." Right? Whether it was Miranda Sings or whatever it might be, but now it's different. Now we have TikTok where it's just a 30-second thing or a 3-minute thing, and that's why it's so addictive. You can blast
and even
right through it.
Even TikTok, after like 3 seconds, if I'm not completely invested, I'll scroll. I can't even sit through 30 seconds unless I'm completely. I think
I've proven it to TikTok. I'm like, nice try. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want this.
Get out of here.
Speaking of TikTok, I really need TikTok to like feel my vibe on like what I want to on my algorithm, because like
you're not putting Howie up.
No. Oh no, someone got mad at us last week because Amanda's talking about this fucked up situation. Calm down. Well, comedy is my interest, and
oh, did you toot? I think I just heard a toot.
No, you heard
okay, gotcha.
If I farted, you would definitely know.
Okay.
It would resonate through the world.
Comedy.
Interests comedy. We'll just leave that there. Okay, so I love watching like animal videos and stuff, right, on TikTok. But then now TikTok thinks that I want to see like people finding some like emaciated dog tied to a tree and them rescuing it. I don't want to see this.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so like I'm seeing all this horrendous shit now. Like, I'm going from like watching like 57 videos of like pigs being cute and like cats like pushing a vase off the table, and then all of a sudden it's like fucking now I'm watching like a pig being slaughtered.
Oh boy.
Or like chickens being like tossed into the ocean. Like great. So,
I keep getting the excuse me, are you guys a couple? The guy in New York that stops couples on the street and asks them if they're a couple. Like,
I've seen that too. Yeah,
I actually really like those because some of the stories are so funny. Where
it's very When Harry Met Sally, where like they're always finishing each other's sentences, and it's pretty cool. Yeah,
finish each other's sandwiches. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's from Frozen.
Oh,
but it's actually not from Frozen. It's from, I think, Friends.
Oh, really?
Frozen stole it from another reference. If anyone remembers what that is, let me know. But back to Miranda Sings, I will say the song is pretty well written. Like the rhyming scheme is
That's
good.
what people are saying. It's been stuck in their heads for days. Yeah. I get it. Yep.
It's a good song.
Was she on Broadway?
Yeah, she was in Waitress, yeah.
Okay. What do you think of her talent-wise?
I think she's great.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, that character is great. Like, that's impressive. And she's on an episode of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, and you can tell Jerry fucking hates her.
He's like, my kids knew who you were, so like I'm here.
Yeah. Like, this was like the producers were like, this will look good, Jerry. It'll bring in a couple of the younger
generation.
Yeah,
right.
He's like, okay. It's like, I have to entertain this. No, it's unfortunate because it is a great character. She's obviously good at improv. And she actually reminds me of myself because I remember watching this video of her talking about being fired from Disney. She was like she was in one of like the shows like on Disneyland property. And she said that she would like every show she would like do like a Miranda like face just because she knew that people in the crowd knew who she was, so that she got fired.
Oh, that's so cool.
And like I would totally do shit like that because I don't take any of this shit seriously. I take nothing seriously. But too bad. Yeah. Here we go. No Name says it starts with all aboard.
Okay, didn't even catch that part of it. Ooh.
It's for no reason. It's rough.
First time I saw her was on an episode of MTV True Life. It was like MTV True Life. I've gone viral, or I'm a YouTuber or something. And that was when she was with her ex, and I think they had just started dating. I wonder if we can find that anywhere. Some of those old True Lives are amazing.
Yeah.
We covered some great ones on TRP or on, actually, no, that was on We Love to Hate TV. Which, by the way,
tier 1.
check that out.
If you guys check out tier 1 of TRP, if you use that cool keyword search, you could find stuff. You can type in like MTV or something like that, and we did a whole bunch of True Life. Yeah, so that's too bad for Miranda. I don't know why her team would let her put this video up, but can't imagine things are going.
She did it behind their back.
So what happens now?
Maybe her management will drop her. Maybe they won't. Who knows? I mean, look at how many other people have done terrible things and they're fine now. People forget. Someone else is going to mess up. Something else will happen. I mean, the dude that was eating people, the cannibal, whatever his name was.
Army Hammer.
Yeah, exactly. We all forgot about that.
I haven't forgotten about that.
Oh, well, you know what you did forget about? Alec Baldwin murdering someone on the set of Rust.
Oh my God. Okay, you guys, what episode were we what episode were we doing?
It might have been
Sister Wives. It was Sister Wives. The episode that's coming out this week, Janelle's like has to climb up a not very steep cliff with her trainer, and it's like
but a depressing version of it.
Yeah. It's like, this is the Wild West. And Jody's like, this isn't we're not on the set of Rust. And I was so impressed.
I don't know why you thought that was so funny.
Because it's such an obscure reference that you could
No, it's not. I haven't gone a day without remembering that Alec Baldwin murdered.
He didn't murder someone. It was manslaughter. Unintentional manslaughter.
Okay, but he still murdered her. Anyhow.
You need to calm down.
Is it our time to bring up our weekly, just throwing it out, pouring one out for Charlotte Ash and Travis? I think I just feel like it's appropriate at this point.
Why, do you have something?
No, just hashtag never forget. That's it.
Yeah, no, I get monkey stuff all the time. Like, I don't want this.
Well, maybe that's tied to the dog's tied to the tree because
probably
Travis was held in captivity, hence why Charlie got her face ripped off.
Yeah, they would drink wine together.
Yep.
They definitely like did it, right?
Wait, what do you mean? Charla and Travis's owner?
No, Travis's owner and Travis.
Oh, no.
But I mean, what's the next step after like drinking wine together? I think
she did say they were soulmates.
He
definitely did not consent.
Yeah, he was probably fine with it though. But let's not get into that territory. Okay.
Right.
What are you watching here? What you watching?
Well, you had me watch an episode of The Bear, which you
which I have a here we go. Okay. I need you to tread lightly here if you're gonna start talking shit about this show, because
I'm not gonna talk shit.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say it's not for me. I don't really get it. However, number one, I think the casting of throw that guy back up. The casting of like the main character, the younger guy,
so fucking hot. He's so hot. Carmi.
I think I look like him. Look.
Yeah, I can see that.
We both have like
but with if you put my bulgy eyes onto your face, we would
lift my nose and my horse face.
Our nose. We both have a have a schnoz.
But him and the guy, is it supposed to be his older brother?
Richie?
Like down. The guy that is down in front of him.
What episode
I watched season 2, episode 1. That's great casting because they look alike. They look like they should be brothers.
They're not related. And they don't look alike at all.
They absolutely do. They could be.
They call each other cousin, but they were just like friends from childhood.
Okay. Well, hey, listen. People are agreeing with you that he is very hot. I don't get it. I think this is a case of. Hold on. This is a case of not hot, but maybe he's sexy.
He's ugly.
Vince Vaughn is not hot.
Vince Vaughn's fine. You
I don't think he's attractive. No, I just think he's the perfect example of he is not a physically attractive man, but because of his humor, he's sexy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this guy's so fucking talented.
I guess. Right.
I think I just so I feel him because he's always so stressed out in the show that I'm like, I have that energy.
So No Name is with me. I do understand how people get it. I think the casting is great. I like the way it's shot. Like the mood of it is really good. It's just not for me.
You're wrong though. And also I gave you a list of specific episodes to watch and you went rogue.
Well, I needed to see what the gist of it was, which was actually good because I'm like, oh, okay, they're trying to reopen a restaurant. Like they failed before. Abby Elliott.
Didn't fail. The first season ends with them finding like $300,000 or something like that.
Well, they had to pay off a debt in order for them to take out a new license or something like that.
I really, really would suggest that you keep watching this because both seasons have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't always trust that, but like I think it's a perfect show. But I think you need to watch the episode. Please promise me you will.
Okay.
Promise me you will watch the episode called Forks because it's where he sends Richie to like work at like a Michelin restaurant.
Okay.
And Richie goes, and it's like the most delightful little story because he shows up and he's like, fuck this, I don't want to do this. And he just put me here because I was annoying him. And then by the end of the episode, he learns that he loves doing this and he's good at it. And he's like, it's just such a great arc. I'd really suggest you watch that. And there's an episode called Fishes, which is an hour long. And the guest stars they have in it is insane. They got Bob Odenkirk, Jamie Lee Curtis is the mom. John Mulaney is in there. Sarah Paulson. And it's just them at a family at like Christmas dinner. And it's like this, it's like August Osage County. So the show is for you. Babe. Well, don't worry about that. Well, this
is a show called The Bear, which I believe is on Hulu.
Right? Yeah, on Hulu. Yes, okay. And thank you. Last week I said I couldn't. My computer wouldn't even let me buy Hulu's, like because my computer is freaking out about where I am. So I asked people to reach out and give me their username and passwords, and like several people did. So thank all of you for trusting me with that. I mean, honestly, I'm not. If I wanted to steal money from you, I'm not smart enough to figure out how to do it anyway.
Oh yeah. So here we go. Jody did her homework, but has problems following instructions. B+. But hey, listen, I did watch it. But more importantly, I watched And Just Like That. I've watched the first 3 episodes, which, I mean, I would rather get an IUD put in and taken out repeatedly. I mean, just over and over than have to watch this show.
Well, you're also so like you're 2 weeks behind. So like you were watching it yesterday and like rage texting the group chat. And I was like, this is all old news, Jody. You need to get on to episode 3.
I took some brief notes to go through. And these are just some hot takes, okay? And this is going from season 1, episode 1, and just going through. Carrie's kitchen, fully remodeled, but also to look like, oh, it's just been here forever. You wouldn't remodel your kitchen if you never cook in it, so hate that. Charlotte just shows up to Carrie's while she's on an unexpected call from, was it like SEMA or something? What kind of a monster, first of all, picks up their phone without knowing who it is, and then you just show up at someone's house?
Well, it's New York, Jody. That's what everyone does there, apparently.
And you answer the door? Like you're both monsters. If I showed up in Calgary, surprised you, you're not answering the door, babe. Nor would I expect you to.
I would definitely need at least 2 days notice to mentally prepare for that.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh my God, you're here. Like, I'm definitely not answering the door.
I think my head would explode if just all of a sudden I opened the door and you were sitting there. My head would explode.
Right. Now, Miranda and her teacher, don't know her name. Sorry, don't care because I don't care about this.
I don't care about any of these new fucking characters at all.
All of a sudden, they're on a close enough basis where Miranda's FaceTiming her in her undies.
What kind of monster calls someone and FaceTimes?
Oh, absolutely not.
It's not the natural way to, like, if you
I ever rung you up just FaceTimed?
You have a couple times, and I knew that when you did that it was a butt dial.
An audio.
Like no, like there's been a couple, like anytime somebody accidentally FaceTimes me, I know that it's an accident.
Oh yeah, no.
Like,
I'm not doing that.
You would literally have to be like, can I FaceTime you? And this is not for anything bad. I just want to show you something.
Right.
I would need that kind of a disclaimer beforehand.
Hey, America, I'm non-binary. Who wrote the line? Why?
I took a video of that moment and sent it to the group chat. Hi, America, I'm non-binary. Which Justine calls it the Tom Sandoval. She was wearing the Tom Sandoval blazer because it had like moons and stars on it.
Yes.
Awful.
Okay, I'm just going to go out on a limb, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this because I have heard and seen that everyone is praising Sarah Rodriguez as she's this great actress, but like I'm not seeing it or getting it.
You would have to like watch, like, if anyone actually out there cares and they want to like Sarah Ramirez, just type in Find Your Grail spam a lot. She won a Tony for it.
In this. I remember when she was on Grey's Anatomy. I watched like 5 episodes probably 10 years ago. And I was like, oh, okay, she's good. It was she at the time. Sorry. They are good.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Ooh, Walter has a shout out here. Shout out to Precious Walter in the back.
Aww.
Walter! Hi, Poop! Poopsicle! Mr. Poopy, Stinky Pants.
Okay, Carrie, with her podcast, she has her purse right here. She has, can you imagine if we were recording a podcast and we had our cup of coffee and we're like, we would be, yikes, right? An audio only podcast, we would get our asses chewed out in the reviews.
Also, she gets everyone at the everyone relax. It's just a funny image, but I went ha! I guffawed because there's a moment where the girl in the wheelchair from Oklahoma,
differently abled, yes.
Okay, is that what we're saying now? Okay, fine. She won a Tony for Oklahoma. She played 808. But she's Carrie's producer, and I had forgotten that was like her role. And there was a moment where like there's a window, and Carrie's like talking about how she doesn't want to do this vagina monologue thing, and just in the background while Carrie's talking, you see this bitch fucking rolling, like just, and I just guffawed because like. I honestly thought that it was just like, because this is what And Just Like That would do. They'd be like, let's just in the background subtly have someone in a wheelchair roll by so that everyone knows that we're inclusive.
Right. Yeah.
It was a hilarious moment. But then she comes in and she does a very good acting performance after that. But it was just like, it was so out of context and funny. And then she gets everyone at the studio fired. The whole studio gets shut down over one vagina ad.
Yeah, which of course I'm sure everyone's talking.
On
you had a book called Sex in the City, and you're afraid to talk about sex. And also, hey, that's what happens when you get a commercial. They give you bullet points. You have to write your own commercial.
Yeah, you were very enraged about that.
Writer. You're burning the midnight oil, writing a commercial. You're like, like a Kathy.
No Name says they see me rolling, they hating.
Exactly.
But your entire podcast hinges on this one ad. They don't pay that much.
No, they don't.
It shouldn't be hinging on that one ad. But they all, and then Carrie's like, that's too bad. Mm-hmm. Like you lost like 75 people their job. So good job, Carrie. And it's not an ad for a dildo. It's an ad for like vaginal, like health or something.
Shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Like you of all people should be doing this.
Stupid. Okay, let's see. Oh, didn't need to see Miranda putting on a strap on. And again, why are you taking phone calls and telling? I mean, you and I have talked about things.
Yeah.
If I called you up and you were like, oh yeah, I'm just like fitting myself for a dildo. We're just about to like, go and fuck. I'd be like, what?
They're in LA and like it's like noon.
Yeah. Like the sun is out.
Yeah. The lights are on in the bedroom.
The blinds are open.
Yeah.
Daylight streaming in. Who does that?
Yeah. Have you watched all 3 episodes, by the way?
I have.
Okay.
Also saw Miranda going down on Che. Didn't need to know that. Don't need to see that. The racist cabbie in the middle of New York City.
Would not happen.
Yeah.
Would not happen. I understand that racism exists, but there's a hot Black man wearing a like 3-piece suit on the Upper
That's
East
probably
Side.
a $4,000 suit.
Yes.
And you're turning down money.
You're turning down this fare. And also, in this economy, that is what it is, because there's Uber and Lyft, and like yellow cabs now are having trouble like getting anyone to even use them. So you're gonna take the fare from this family of
and also grandma, you can go and fuck yourself. You're never seeing your grandkids again.
That's what Jen's been saying on Real Housewives recaps. By the way, everyone should check her out on YouTube. Do you know that she said that she's like, I don't even know if I want to continue doing it just like that. And I'm like, no, you have to. Like, we need you. But she makes like 25 times the amount of money on her Harry and Meghan stuff.
I can imagine.
Like, but who cares about them? I just don't care about the royal family at all.
I love to hate Meghan Markle. Okay, so can we just talk about Lily composing on her little keyboard? And now she's so moody. She wears a little beanie.
She's got a little toque on.
It's so hard being a little rich girl.
And then there's Rock. Go away, Rock.
Rock needs a backhand.
A slap in the face. Yes.
Oh, my mom would have smacked me across the face like she did in Venture when I was begging for that New Kids on the Block comforter set.
Or me at Disney World.
That's right. Yeah, no. Just sitting there all smug. Okay, Rock. Enough.
Yeah, I can't. And again, we get it. You can be non-binary, but like,
it's not even about that.
Every line of dialogue not be about that. Like, can you just like live your life now? Because both your parents are clearly fine with it. You're rich. Everyone, all your friends seem to be fine with it.
Right.
Just shut the fuck up.
Do you remember that? What did she have? A bot, whatever it was called.
What?
Bar mitzvah.
Oh, they had a
mitzvah.
They mitzvah. Got it, Jody.
When Rock refused to go out, you're going out there.
And instead of fucking like slapping them across the face, Charlotte ends up getting mitzvahed.
Right.
In her place. Yeah, that would happen.
I spent $400 on monochromatic gumballs and rock candy. You're going out there and you're reading it like you love it. It's
like in Sister Wives when they're practicing for the commitment ceremony, and Madison, it's like, what if we don't agree with it though? And Cody's like, you're gonna be kicked out of the family and you can't dance to the band.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, Miranda going to Che's comedy concert and she doesn't know where to stand. She's like in the middle of all these.
Have you been in public before, Miranda?
That's why I'm like, you live in New York City. People are hustling and bustling everywhere. You've survived. And now you don't know where to stand in the middle of like a busing station. Move out the way.
It's just so upsetting because my TikTok keeps showing me, and it's almost upsetting to me. It keeps showing me old episode, like little clips of Sex and the City where Miranda's being a fucking badass, like just, and she's funny. Good acting.
No, she lost her phone and she doesn't know what to do. Oh, I know. When you're asking people, can I borrow your phone to call my girlfriend or whatever? How about you ask them to use their phone to call your phone so you can hear it ring and you can find your phone?
Oh, see, that doesn't work for me because my phone is always on silent.
Well, you could hear it buzzing.
Not on the beach, though.
Well, it's worth a try.
I read an article about that episode where it's like, okay, Miranda's so bored that she signs up to do like, you know, this work of picking up garbage on the beach. And it's like, you're a lawyer that was a partner in a law firm. Why don't you do freelance work or something? Something's like really doing something. Like her on the beach, she was like moving like pieces of like seaweed from here to here.
Yep.
From this basket to this basket.
Che is busy at work. I don't know what to do.
Oh my God. And this pilot. Now, Justine went into this on her podcast too. Everyone check out The Short Store. She went into and just like that for a while the other day. And and I was living for it. But she's like, wouldn't like, oh wait, what am I doing? Oh my God, everything's happening right now. She was like, well, they're rehearsing lines, and she's reading off of her fucking phone, and Miranda's reading off of her iPad, which she also can't manage.
Oh, I don't know.
How do you? I don't know how to.
Right.
And then the thing with her phone is Brady's like, I've been calling you over and over, and she's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, something's wrong with my phone. You have it's a brand new phone. This is foolproof.
You've made it through law school. You can't figure this out.
Yeah. So they're rehearsing, and Justine was like, wouldn't they, like, even in today's society, like, wouldn't they have pages, like physical pages? And yes, of course they would. They print out pages. And if there's a change in like a version, they print it out on a different color paper so that everyone has the same color paper, and you're not fucking up. Who the fuck, what kind of director wants a cast full of people that are reading their script off their phone the whole time? It's so stupid.
But this is so dumb. Ugh.
Yeah.
Did you catch the scene where Carrie and Charlotte are at the Real Deal, or that's stupid, like so stupid. I don't even know why that was written in there. They just needed to pay her and add some scenes in. And Carrie's standing there with a boot and a bird. And the bird, if you look at continuity of it, it was driving me insane because head on, the bird was facing this way, and sideways, it was upside down and turned the other way. Again, I'm not getting paid for this, people. Like, you and I could write the show and keep the continuity better than these people getting paid millions.
This is why Love is Blind uses those goblets.
Exactly.
The non-see-through goblets. Yeah. What do you think of Che's show?
Oh, God. Oh, you mean the one that Miranda ruined?
Okay.
She ruined the family scene?
So first of all, Che, and I talked about this last week with Justine, but Che, this is a pilot that hasn't even been picked up yet for series, and they are somehow living in a mansion with a pool. No, you're not. You're living in a studio apartment in like the shitty
LA,
part of Hollywood.
She has like a Spanish, what do they call it? Like a vintage Spanish, whatever sort of rental, but it's beautiful and spacious. And again, that sunlight filtering in, windows everywhere, but it's cool as a cucumber inside.
Like, I honestly they would give her no money for this because Che is not that famous that they would be.
What are they living off of?
Money.
Miranda's just
the studio probably gave them like a $5,000 advance or something.
Okay, sure. Well, Chase sucks. Tony Danza.
What do you think of this plot line where he's like, so instead of me being he doesn't want to be
Mexican,
Irish,
he wants to be Italian.
Yeah, because it does look bad. It's bad optics to have Tony Danza playing Mexican, obviously. So he's like, here's an idea. Instead of being Hispanic and Irish, you could be Hispanic and Italian. And she's like, I don't know, my ethics, my morals.
Glug, 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 with my wine. Get it, guys? She's upset.
They're upset.
Sorry.
You've been off for a few weeks. It's fine.
It's just very upsetting watching this whole thing. And she's an asshole.
Yeah, and shut the fuck up and take your paycheck.
Yeah.
Like, just take your paycheck and let your dad be Italian. You're fine.
And the showrunner losing it at an audience member, they just be like, escort him out.
Yeah, Che's like, I've already given up enough. Like, I've already refused to do so much. I already refused to dye my hair blue. If you're
that was so stupid.
If I'm going to be
supposed to laugh at that,
I don't know what we're supposed to laugh at. If I'm going to be the lead of a potentially successful series, I'll dye my hair whatever fucking color. I'll shave my head and dye my head blue if you want.
Yep. I can pay someone to sew some hair back on.
Right. So Miranda goes to this thing. Again, never been in public before. Doesn't know how to just act around a group of people.
Ooh, people. Ooh, I don't have a phone. I don't know what to do. I'm in a line. What is this called?
Right. And Brady calls her. She of course answers, which honestly, I don't even think you would do this, if Googie called you, you would at least like see yourself out really quickly. You wouldn't answer your phone while this show was going on.
Well, it's ringing. What do I do? It's an Android. Oh, I don't know what to do. Whoa.
That is what it is, though. It's like, why can't you
fumbling all the time?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So she answers, and Brady's like,
oh,
my girlfriend broke up with me. And
I think I texted you. I'm like, Brady's like crying like a little bitch.
Yeah, okay, but I think you would react. You would freak out too. But he doesn't say, Mom, I'm suicidal, or I want to off myself. He just says like, oh, I don't even want to live anymore. Well, he says something along the lines of like, I don't want to live anymore. But it's obviously not him telling her, I think I'm in trouble, and I think I'm going to.
Okay, I didn't even catch that.
It was just a throwaway line because he's upset. He's crying.
I was too busy trying to get my eyes back
to roll back
of my head to roll them back forward.
Right.
Didn't even catch that, but I mean,
Brady, again, that's fine. I know that like if Googie was freaking out like that with you on the phone, you would like.
Well, I would have silenced my phone because I'm not a moron.
Well, that's true. They've turned. Adam says, Adam, are you an actual boy that's listening to us?
A man.
A man. He says they've turned Miranda into Shannon from Real Housewives.
1,000%.
I can see that. Yeah, just like, what's going on? So the courageous part here. So she's outside, and she says, "You ruined." What was the scene? She goes, "You ruined
the family scene." A little cannoli or something.
Also, you would not just do one take of that. The audience would have to sit through probably 25 takes, so it's fine. That wasn't
even if it was a perfect scene. They're gonna do a couple takes of it because different angles and all that kind of stuff.
You ruined the family. Also, like, I don't think Che Diaz is going to have a multi-camera sitcom with an audience laugh track. It'll be like do those shows exist anymore? I feel like the last laugh track show was like Big Bang Theory.
Well, they're going to have a laugh track because Che is not funny at all.
Oh my God.
You would have to waterboard me to get me to laugh at anything that they have had Che
You could just show me the scene of that girl wheeling by and whenever you can get a good laugh track out of me.
We need someone who can set that to the music and just have her fly by. No, I mean, I would laugh more at the videos of the animals that you're seeing on TikTok than I would Che Diaz.
So Che, you ruined the family scene. Miranda's like, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Che, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And also Che, like,
she's like, Brady needs me. And she's like, I need you too. No, you didn't. You're an adult. Bye. Go get paid to do your job.
Good Lord. Like, Che sucks. And this isn't like.
Why is Che so precious? I feel like they built this character to be like the strong one that Miranda can now rely on and lean on or whatever it is. But Che is like, my God, careful.
No, Miranda has had a lobotomy at this point. Like, it's just not the same person. And I've said this before. This show is not canon to me. This is not Sex and the City. This is a completely other show, and that's how you have to view it.
Right.
Totally different show.
Talk about God, what's her name? Charlotte being on number 2 MILF at the middle school or the high school. No, you aren't.
Speaking of Miranda Sings.
Oh, right. Right. I wouldn't pick these two to be MILFs. Yeah, the uptight one that's always like, ooh, like runaway bride, senpaku eyes or whatever you call them all the time. Like, oh,
dressed as if she's in like, as if she's Julian Moore in the Hours. Just like 1950s.
Yeah.
No, the MILF list is going to be like
through life.
Oh, sorry. The MILF list would be like a 30-year-old wearing like a half top coming from the gym. Like
wearing Lululemon.
Yes. Mm-hmm. With fake eyelashes on. It's not going to be Charlotte and
wearing a pencil skirt.
Yeah.
No. not happening. And the other one, I don't get her character either. Are we supposed to like her? I think we're supposed to like her. And Christopher Jackson, his storyline, I mean, this is edgy. He wants to have sex with his wife.
The first scene of the very first episode is just all of them like fucking, and it was like all of them like about to have sex.
Tiny
like,
dancer.
If I was in that show, it'd be all of those things, and then me like eating chips in bed.
Mine would be me waking up like I snore myself awake, drool just coming out. I put my pregnancy pillow to the side, like I did.
Or like you waking up because Scout has like launched off of your vagina bone.
Oh, or just like putting her paw on you, like get up, wake up,
right in your mouth,
take me out.
Yeah. But I mean, are you excited about this show? Like, I mean, this is exactly what we wanted it to be. No, obviously we hate it.
So the whole MILF thing is so ridiculous. Come up with it should have been like most uptight moms. That would have been believable, and them wanting to not be that. And then also whole about purse getting stolen, and then now Carrie is close enough where she just wants to lay in the same bed as her downstairs neighbor, like letting herself in. And there's just a guy stealing stuff in front of them, and no one does anything. Like,
there would
what are
be
you talking
security.
about?
Justine said this too. At an event like this with all of this jewelry, there would at least be a security guard. Security guard. And
not two guys that look like they work for like Geek Squad or something that just come in at the last second.
The Birkin
pull a gun or a knife, by the way, as he's just like, "Oh, give me your stuff."
I know.
I'd be like,
I know. He doesn't even show a weapon.
Yeah.
I feel like most
Walter
of these people in
menacing.
there poopy, stinky pants.
I mean, now if Latrice was in there, like Toonsis, like stick them up.
If I just carried Latrice around and was like, "Give me everything in your wallet."
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, the Birkin thing was the most egregious to me, and I thought it was kind of a fuck you to Kim Cattrall, because there's an episode of Sex and the City where it's all about the Birkin. She wants this Birkin. She wants to buy it for herself because it'll prove that like she's like earned something for herself. It's like a really big paycheck she got or something, and she becomes Lucy Liu's publicist, and she gets on the waiting list of Birkin, but she drops Lucy Liu's name to get this Birkin.
Oh boy.
But there's a whole episode about a Birkin, about Samantha, and I wonder if they're like kind of referencing that in this episode, or if the writers are just also stupid and forgot that ever happened.
Yeah, and I don't like this. What's her name? Seema, this new character.
I don't like any of the new characters. No.
Yeah, the teacher one. Where it's like, "Oh, my husband is traveling and I'm afraid he might be cheating on me." And she does a bad drunk where she's like, "I'll just shame my mouth back. I'm sexy." God.
Ugh, Danielle remembers the Birkin episode. Burka episode. Birkin. It's a burka. It's a burka, it's a vagina patch. Yeah.
No. A burka is like the traditional garb. A Birkin. It's something. Merkin.
Thank you. We got it.
This is where you get all your information. Yeah. Birkins, Merkins, and Birkin.
Merkins.
And doesn't Nate Berkus was on Oprah? I don't know.
No idea.
I don't know either. Can I do a little sampling, a little unboxing of my own?
Oh, I forgot about this. Yes.
So for my birthday, I believe this was on a Patreon episode. I just want to show everyone.
But it's free for everyone. Everyone can go to our Patreon and watch it. It's public, so you don't have to pay for it.
So look at this beautiful Swiffer cover. I need to do like the YouTuber thing. Yeah. And tell everyone where they can get this. Daphne made it. Replaces. Yeah.
You guys can go to Instagram and check out my mom's Instagram. It's Off the Hook Crochet Designs,
and we have matching ones.
I have like 4 of those. Yeah.
They're
reusable.
Okay, we'll rub it in. And finally,
yep,
my
the sheriff.
Still don't have the exact recipe, but like I'm almost there. Thank you.
She just uses the recipe off the box.
Oh, well, I think she's saying that. And then, I have my ring. My ring. I'll get my ring in a second. I have it in my jewelry holder, Amanda.
Okay.
Amanda sent me a whole bunch of Canadian candies. So I figured like maybe we spread this out and like I'll try like 2 a week or something.
Okay,
so
I want to try you which ones. Yeah, you like the Smarties.
Yeah, so the Smarties, this one doesn't count as one of the 2. The Smarties are not Smarties like American Smarties. They're more like M&Ms, but it really is like a candy coating.
Yeah.
Not quite as little, but just like a sweeter chocolate. It's not as semi-sweet as an M&M. Okay, so these are the ones that you got, and you picked 2 for me, okay?
Okay.
I'm so excited. Okay.
I want you to try the crunchy and
that's what I picked up.
Okay. Yeah, I want you to try that one, and I want you to try the
Do you want me to show you
what I
got?
the one that's red and white.
Crispy Crunch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was going to pick up.
Okay, perfect.
Scout, get out of here. You're not getting any. And then you also got a Mr. Big, speaking of Sex in the City. I mean, this one obviously was my nickname in college. Eat more.
Yeah, those are good. These
Arrow.
are also good. Arrow, which you've had before.
And a coffee crisp. This one I'm so excited to try.
Well, maybe you should try that one.
Why, you don't like it? I thought Justine.
No, that's my favorite one.
Then I'm going to save it for last.
Okay.
Well, no, it should be up to you. Do you want me to try coffee crisp?
Yeah. Don't do crispy crunch. Do coffee crisp and
crunchy.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I noticed about Canadian candy bars is that they're
must yellow and red.
Come in yellow, red, and orange.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. No, Scout.
Yeah. It must be okay. So I'm gonna do crunchy, which is I'm excited. Sponge toffee, and okay. Oh.
Now, when you bite into it, just kind of suck on it for a second and kind of like let it kind of dissolve in your mouth for a second.
And don't get mad, okay? Carrie Bradshaw did it on her podcast, so sorry about this. Ooh, okay, so it looks like a Milky Way.
It looks like a piece of poop. Yes.
Okay. Oh, crunchy. I just suck on it.
Well, yeah, just kind of like let that middle part kind of dissolve in your mouth for a second. It's interesting, right? Like, have you ever had anything like that before? It's good, right?
God, that middle tastes like something. It's like a very distinct flavor, and I can't think of what that is.
I mean, it's like butter, basically. It's like butter and sugar. I think it's probably
it's like a Butterfinger flavoring, but the texture is like a hard foam.
Yeah, spongy,
but in a good way. Okay. I enjoy that. I do like that one. Okay.
All right.
Coffee crisp bus, girl. Just saw that red and yellow are colors that make you hungry.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, coffee crisp is described as it makes a nice light snack or une gouture léger délicieux or something.
Okay,
and there's no other description. It looks like a Kit Kat, like a chubby Kit Kat. Like one stick chubby Kit Kat.
This is just my favorite.
Smells like covfefe.
It's good, right? Covfefe crisp.
It's actually, I was afraid it was going to be a little bit too coffee-ish.
No,
but it's not.
It's mild.
It's a mild coffee.
Yeah.
And it's not too chocolatey either.
You like?
It's a very tame coffee chocolate. This would be good with a cup of coffee.
Yes, for sure.
Or I feel like Daphne would have just she would have like a little bite-sized one with a glass of milk.
My mom drinks milk.
I know she does.
every
That's why I'm
dinner.
saying it
It's
seems
so
like
weird.
that's why it seems like it would be like a very Daphne thing. Like this would just a little treat for after dinner.
All right, so what are your ratings on those?
Okay, like on a scale of 1 to 10, or which one do I like better?
1 to 5. How many forks?
Okay, so crunchy, I'm gonna give a 3 out of 5 forks.
All right.
Coffee crisp, I'm gonna go a 4 out of 5.
All right.
Are these the same brand? These are. Oh no, one's Cadbury, one's Nestle. Like they both taste very Canadian. Like it has it. I know that sounds weird, but like it doesn't taste like an American candy.
No.
Does that make sense? Okay, it's very good, guys. I wonder if you can get those at Cost Plus World Market because they always have like different candies from
probably. This is pretty common.
Check that out.
Really quickly, what else are you watching? Are you watching Cruel Summer?
I haven't started. Paige wants to watch it.
Okay, it's great.
Okay.
And there's nothing like she can watch it. There's no like swearing or anything too sexual.
Does it have anything to do with the first season that we loved?
No, it's completely
totally different
cast, different everything. It's great. Like I'm just so obsessed with it. There's only 4 or 5 episodes so far, so it's completely bingeable. Like you're gonna want to binge this thing. So maybe you could even
on Hulu. Okay.
Also on Hulu. Yep. So I've been using that since Hulu.
Yes.
Hulu again. I want to just get your thoughts on this because we haven't talked about it. I haven't talked to you about it because you've been off for 3 weeks. What do you think of this?
Okay, this is the Ocean Gate Titan, the submersible, we're supposed to call it, that went down under the deep blue sea and ended tragically. Well, you and I both share the common fear of open water, deep water. So this would never be anything that I would do. I don't like going into water that's any deeper than like 4 feet max, whether it's a pool. I mean, I'll go in a pool, but like
one time I was in my teens, I think, and I was at a beach and a rather large, I just had like up to my like mid calf, and I felt an entire fish like touch my leg, and after that I was like, I can't.
Oh no. Well, like in an ocean, I will only go up to my waist.
Like, would you ever go into the middle of the ocean though and like jump in? Oh, like what the fuck is down there?
I don't want to snorkel. I don't
know.
Even when people are like, oh, there's a sandbar out here, just like swim. Nope.
No. Too bad.
I know that I will get taken out to sea and I'll be like waving to my children goodbye in some like eerie, like, let mommy go, save yourself. And I know like swim parallel to shore. No, I'm not going down there. It's super creepy. Nothing I would ever do. I don't get the point of them wanting to go down there in that because did you know there's no windows or anything?
Yeah, it was
You're watching on a screen. Yeah. Do it up on the boat, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't make it. Or watch the first 15 minutes of Titanic.
Right. Watch a documentary.
Yeah.
Eat a candy bar while you're at it. And the fact that the kid went down there with his dad and was like scared.
Yeah.
Ugh. I hate. I mean, it sounds terrible. I have a feeling I know what you're going to say about it, though. That Bo and Yang on Las Culturistas.
Oh my God. I mean, what a great point. I mean, I already like went off on this like last week with Justine about like how I'd be concerned about the pooping situation, but I did not know that they all went out for kofefe beforehand.
Which, I mean, it doesn't get to me. This is my second red eye of the morning, as we know.
Jody has some weird body where like her vagina never smells bad ever, or you don't sweat. Or I shower
definitely
too.
Sweat, babe.
And coffee doesn't make you poop. That's like,
again, I'm not saying it's healthy. It's probably horrible that my body is holding it all in, but I didn't know that it was like, I've heard that it's a diuretic, but I didn't know it was like an instant thing that people have to go.
So you drink coffee every day and you still only poop like 3 times a week?
Yeah, roughly.
That is, I mean, you need to get that checked out. That's like
I probably do. I'm not disagreeing with you. I probably do.
I mean, I'm not saying
I've heard, it's a diuretic, but I didn't know it's like an instant thing. I thought it was like, incorporated into your diet, it helps keep you regular. I didn't know it was like drink, go. Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, they all went out for coffee ahead of time, and How many of them were down there?
If you guys know Las Culturistas, if you check out their TikTok, it's like probably the most recent video. They had Kelly Clarkson on, who was a delightful guest. She seems cool as fuck, obviously. Yeah. She's perfect. Yeah. But Bowen Yang's I don't think so, honey, was like, why would you go for coffee and then you're getting into this tiny little submersive where you're all shitting in a bucket with no door?
Yeah, and like the pressurized part of that, like, is something, if you are even
pressure,
the big gassy or whatever, or things,
and then the anxiety of just like doing that.
Yeah, this is wild. Oh, okay. So Andy says there's one tiny viewport, but it's not big, and they can't see anything until they turn on the lights. Well, what the hell?
Yeah, there's no point. $250,000 for that.
Oh, hell no. I mean, think about it. You can buy homes for $250,000, and well, I guess now they're like,
well, I couldn't. Stuff, Billy Bowen says, I'm jealous of people who can poop every day.
Yeah, same.
I've pooped probably 5 times already today.
Wow.
It's 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Sandra says, I poop after my morning coffee, sometimes urgently. Well, yeah, you're supposed to. That's why it's there. That's why coffee
just do it for the caffeine, but okay.
You want to check out some Gary's Graham?
Oh, I do.
All right. And then we'll get into some Sisterwise Instagram news. Janelle had a couple things to let us know this week. And then we'll finish off with the book. Yes. All right, check this one out. This is
perfect. Julie Resting Bitch Pot. I've already pooped 3 times this morning as we're looking at Gary's Graham. What is that?
Well, he says it right here.
Pancakes with gravy?
It says early dinner. Chicken fettuccine Alfredo, homemade sauce. One of the kids' favorites. Yeah, Happy Sunday, y'all. At Christina Shirley, # yummy.
He's always got to throw her under the bus.
One of the kids' favorites. Okay, the grammar on that is terrible. There should be like a apostrophe. One of the kids' favorite.
It would be kid '*s. One of the kids' favorites.
No, you're wrong. Or one of the kids' favorite.
If he's talking about both of the kids' favorites.
Oh, see, I took it as it's like one of my kids. This is their favorite, but I'm not going to tell you. Shh. Yeah. Okay. So that's fettuccine Alfredo. It looks like pancakes with country gravy poured over.
Yes, it does.
All right, what's this?
Christine. Ooh, that looks like a bodily organ. I can't even look at what is that. That looks like
I'll let you know. Stuffing stuffed
vaginas.
Pork chops covered in herb gravy.
That's the same gravy that was just on that other thing.
On the chicken Alfredo?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Why is it not dripping from the top? It is very just right there.
No, this is dry. This is like you're chewing 27 times just to like get through one.
That looks thick.
Stuffing stuffed pork chops covered in herb gravy! ! Obviously taters and green beans. Yeah, obviously. I don't see any green in this picture, by the way, Gary. But as pictured earlier, what? Green beans.
Oh, okay. So sure.
Obviously taters and green beans. Yeah.
He ate the green beans first. That's why we're not seeing him on the plate.
Yeah. But as pictured earlier, this was the end result. Yes, these are big ass chops. Christina and I shared one, and I'm taking the rest to Mama at work. LOL. This was a lot, but delish. So you're
sure you shared one, Gary.
Carol. Yeah, you did not share one. And you're standing at work. Where does Carol work? Like she's like a telephone operator or something. And he brings you this.
I feel like so it's like Michael's.
Yeah, I'm sure the rest of the office really appreciates you bringing this thing in to stink up the entire.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Carol works at Michael's and she cuts the fabric and she's that bitch, that cunt where you're like, oh, how much fabric would I need for a blanket? And she's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Cut fabric. Can you cut the selvage off?
I'm actually surprised she has a job because she just seems like one of those people that would live off of disability. Here's one last one. Here's a salad.
This is all the same gravy. What is that? There is a white, thick sauce on everything.
I think it's just a lot of ranch. But my happy place! ! Delicious. I wish summer would last longer than it does at Christina Shirley. Love you, girl. But it's like weird.
What is this?
It's a salad.
Okay,
but you can't tell under all the ranch.
Yeah, you can barely make out anything. Those things in the front look like mozzarella stick niblets.
They do. I think they're
guessing they're crouton. Yeah, you want some salad with those croutons, Gary?
But there's fresh peas in there, but it's hard to see under the jizzy cum of the ranch that he's poured over all of it.
Farm fresh tomatoes. There's your cucumbers, Gary.
So far to drag. Okay, we have a few things going on with Sister Wife. Wait, what's this? Oh, here's another one. This is another one that I forgot to put up last week.
Holy shit! Look at the size of what is that?
This? Describe it.
Okay, so there's a whittle bowl with approximately 4 little tiny pieces of very wilted broccoli.
His favorite.
Sure. There are about 6. I'm guessing he's going to say they're homemade sweet potato fries, but
just a little.
Those are some frozen, like Shake Shack or some sort of frozen name brand potato fries, something, and
what's the main course?
A Barbie-sized hamburger bun with a slice of Kraft cheese and.
Well, it's
like a country fried
it's like it's like a country fried steak, I think, and it's humongous. The bun is half the size of this thing, and then there's just a cold Kraft single on there as well. And he says, "Hi, I'm Gary, and this is at Vista, Indiana. Seriously, though, this is a pork tenderloin. If you know, you know."
Ooh.
At Swayze Tenderloins, #delicious, #young.
It got in my belly. He did #it got in my belly.
It got in my belly, LOL, at Christina Shirley.
Christina gobbled up the whole thing.
I barely got my hands on it.
That's very Robin Brown. He put it in my belly.
Fucking gross. Now, No Name says the pork tenderloin salad is an Indiana thing. To have a giant cutlet and a tiny bun, Indiana is weird. So, what's the point of the bun, though? At this point,
I think Gary thinks it looks dainty. Like
he's carb loading.
Yeah, Gary is just like Colleen Ballinger. My little bony back.
My bony little back. Okay, so let's see what's going on with the Sister Wives crew this week. Here's Christine and David.
Something phallic behind them. What is that?
Holy.
I don't like this. I feel like he's enjoying this too much. I don't like this.
Yeah, I'm over. I'm over. You know who's over it? Daphne. She's like really over it.
Really? She doesn't trust him.
She doesn't trust him. And she said
it's just a lot. Him, Amanda.
She's acting very immature, Amanda.
I agree.
Okay, wait, no. Let's move
on.
Wait. Oh yeah, Christine. Okay, Christine said that Delta wrote them like a note. Her and David. Wooly about like, thanks for joining us on Delta. Okay, you don't need to tell us every single fucking thing, but here we go. Janelle Brown. This is so fucking funny because this was like a whole trajectory throughout the week. Getting ready. Okay. It's a picture of like wristbands, like for bugs, I think, to like, but
like a box of 25 of them.
Getting ready for a family reunion in Florida this weekend. Preparing for the mosquitoes. Had to laugh. Because I ordered these repellent bracelets on Amazon. I didn't realize it was a box of 50. So I'll have them for the whole family. Laughing emoji. But then she did an Instagram live following up on this. Yeah, hi guys. Hey.
Guys. Get ready.
Guys. About those repellent bracelets, I just want you to know, I accidentally got them, but they're really good. I would really recommend them. All right, let me tell you about Plexus. That was actually.
God, I love you.
I miss you. We got another one here. Oh, okay, this one.
What is this?
This wasn't even a sponsored ad.
Is it a vase?
No, it's just a water bottle, I think. And then there's like this like flavor, this like thing, like powder you pour into water.
This took her a long time to set up this shot of like her phone pointing at her other hand.
And it says electrolytes saving my bacon on this airplane travel day. On this airplane travel day. I never knew how much they could help with travel until I used them. Loving the summer flavor. And then in quotes, she wrote, cucumber melon.
Heart eyes emoji.
Heart eyes. Happy face heart.
Saved my bacon. That is such a classic Janelle.
It's crazy, guys.
Really saved my bacon.
And I have one more here that just this is fresh off the press here. Janelle went on a little boat trip and she put on Instagram a series, like it's like a reel. So there's like a song playing, but then like 5 pictures. But this was my favorite picture. She was on a boat. Just know that. She wanted us to see like the view, the scenery. This is what she chose to post.
Okay, describe this for people who are listening.
I don't know what it is.
I was just gonna say, I see a toe. I see a toe like right there.
Oh yeah, there. Yeah, her toe got in there.
I see 2 little piggies. I really don't. Is this a sidewalk? Is it an edge of a boat?
No, she's on
like
the boat, and I think it's just the line is now attached. Like the anchor is it's anchored.
She was holding her phone and she accidentally took a picture and she didn't know how to delete it out of the sequence, and it just ended up like like you're putting your phone in your purse and you accidentally take a picture of like the sidewalk. Or something.
Oh no, mine will always be a picture of me like this.
Staring all just like all the chins. Yep.
Fun day at Salt Springs Run yesterday. I've never had the experience of going somewhere, anchoring a boat, and spending the day in and out of the water. So much fun and so relaxing. I slept so good last night.
I slept so good. Oh, she was like thinking, like, how do I wrap this up? Like, I slept pretty good. I slept good.
All things considered, I feel great.
In the photo of the water, it looks like a murky greenish brown color. So it's not even like, ooh, look at the crystal clear water.
Oh no, this is disgusting water.
The most random.
Kate the Great says, is this supposed to be an Ocean Gate reference? Let's not give Janelle that much credit now. I don't think she's even heard of Ocean Gate. She's like, oh, that happened? I didn't know. She'll learn about it in a year and post about it.
Oh gosh.
Did you guys hear about
reminds me of? Yeah.
She'll repost this picture. She'll repost this picture and be like, remember when the Ocean Gate reminds me of
being out on the water.
That
Flashback
crystal
Friday.
clear water. So fucking gross. All right. So anyway, that's all that's going on in Sister Wives news right now.
Yep. All right. Are we ready to get on to the book?
Yeah, let me get up the nachos and then we'll
that'll be really awesome.
Yeah, that'll be really awesome.
I gotta put on my trusty Janelle.
Get it on, girl. And let's get the nachos up. Here we go.
Ooh, yummy. Okay. Yummy.
All right, guys, we're back. Becoming Sister Wives. We're on. Oh no, sorry, Walter. I'm not wrapping it up.
Aww. Wally.
We're on chapter 15. Christine. 200 page 235.
Would you like to? Okay. Throughout my entire childhood, I kept my family life as quiet as I could. I had 2 mothers and 10 brothers and sisters. We were from a prominent polygamous family and thought it best to draw as little attention as possible to ourselves. In school, I never felt comfortable trying out for sports, plays, or any activities. I wanted to be as low profile as possible. As I was raised in a climate of fear, my father was terrified of our family being split up. When he was 8 years old, his life was turned on end when his parents were arrested for bigamy and thrown in jail. They were released after a single night. Oh, well, that was kind of anticlimactic, right?
Yeah.
This is common, especially in the case of female polygamists, who are usually sent home to look after the children. My grandparents initially thought their arrest was symbolic and that they would have no more trouble with the law. Not long after the release, however, they got word that the authorities were pursuing them once again. My grandfather fled and went into hiding. All of my grandmothers separated from one another and took their children to live in different states or in far-off corners of the same state. This separation meant that my father was permanently cut off from his siblings. For years, he had no idea where the rest of my family was. My dad was drafted into the Vietnam War when he was 19. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
He was frustrated that he had to serve a country whose laws denied his family fundamental civil rights and caused them to live in fear. Even though my father had been separated from my grandfather still believed in the importance of serving America, and he urged my dad to go and be proud of who he was. Although my grandfather and his family lived in a lifetime of fear, he still realized that fear leads to secrecy, and secrecy leads to abuse of power. He advocated for harsher punishment for underage marriages and abusive relationships. He believed that these crimes would be stopped if polygamists could live openly instead of in secrecy. As my father saw it, secret, closed societies were directly responsible for the abuses.
So her dad was an advocate against abusive relationships. Isn't that kind of an oxymoron when you're like living
secretive?
Patriarchal?
Well, I mean, yes, but
polygamy
what she's
is
about
abuse.
to say, he believed that closed societies were directly responsible for the abuses for which the FLDS has become sadly infamous. So I think he was like anti-FLDS type Mormonism, but they're like the cool Mormons.
Sure, but like Cody, like the Browns are public, and I mean that's the most abusive thing I've ever seen on TV. Really.
No.
Bloody.
Christine was terrible.
Oh, she didn't try to have a relationship with these people.
No,
and that's why I'm so pissed off.
Openness in theory is a lot different from openness in practice. And while I knew that my grandfather's theory and belief was entirely correct, incorporating into my everyday existence took a lot of time. I'm a very bubbly and outgoing person. As I grew older, I realized that I wasn't always going to be possible. That's a misprint.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a misprint.
I'm reading it as it says. I'm not stumbling. As I grew older, I realized that I wasn't always going to be possible for me to hide my family or lifestyle from everyone I met.
Was there not an editor for this book?
Jesus. It's not just in my nature to mistrust the outside world as I'd been raised to do. I look on the bright side of absolutely everything. I expect the best from people. Maybe for this reason, I often let it slip, both accidentally and on purpose, that I was polygamist. Cody often says that because of my sweet nature, people have no choice but to accept me for who I am. I mean,
that seems like a backhanded compliment.
Much like Cody himself, right? Accepted Christine for exactly who she was.
This is like, honestly, he definitely said that in a bitch, in a way that wasn't intended to be nice.
Yep.
You're nice, so people have to like you.
It's the best compliment he's ever given me. Perhaps because of my blind trust in the good of humankind, yes. Or maybe because I'm a chatterbox. People began to learn about my family. Their reactions were far more positive than I'd been raised to expect. Pass gas.
All right. FYI, not that they need promotion from us, but Surviving Sister Wives this week, I think Wednesday, but if you're on their Patreon, it drops Tuesday. They're finally covering Polygameximist Wedding.
Stand back. You might get hit by a stick.
I messaged them. I have the message here. I said, I just need to tell you this. I listened to an unhealthy amount of podcasts, but I don't think I've ever been more horned up in anticipation than waiting for your recap of the Taco Tony wedding episode. And then one of them wrote back, we're also very horned up for this recap. It took us forever to get here. So it's going to be good. You might get hit by a stick.
Yep.
Let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love with you. No, look, I listened to, I watched this episode yesterday in preparation for Corey and Carly's episode. And when she's rehearsing with the guitarist,
I know
she doesn't hit that high note. It's not, that was like a spur of the moment decision. She just
improv.
Interest. Yes, and
comedy.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone in the comments know what interest comedy means? Because please, if you know, you know. Don't say it.
No,
but just say I know what it means.
Yep.
And we explained it on a Patreon episode or something. Yep. But it's funny. Okay. Soon after I married Cody and moved to Powell, Wyoming, I got a wonderful job assisting a curator at a local museum. Oh, so already more jobs than Robin's ever had in her life.
Right. Yeah.
Job. My boss was a fantastic woman. Since we worked in a tiny bony back office.
Yep.
It was just the two of us. I knew we'd be spending an inordinate amount of time together. The first day at work, my boss asked me about my family and my home life. I told her about my husband, Claudie, and his two sisters, Mary and Janelle, who lived with us. I mean, yeah, sure, why not?
Cool.
Also, you could have just said sister wives. Boss doesn't give a fuck. Do your job. I'll pay you. We're done.
No one wants to get with Cody. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No one's jealous. Yeah.
I just know what his dick looks like. Like, I know it. I know what it looks like, and it's small. And it never gets like fully hard. Like, it's always kind of like a struggle to like enter. Like, it kind of folds a little bit.
Stinky.
Oh, definitely.
Like tacky.
Schmegma.
Like tacky.
I explained that Mary and I both had daughters and Janelle had a son. I said that my sister-in-law lived with us for financial reasons. This already seems too complicated. Just fucking. I said that my sister-in-laws lived with us for financial reasons. I acknowledged that our living situation was a little unusual, but that we made it work. When the day was over, I got in my car to drive home. I turned on the ignition, but couldn't bring myself to leave the parking lot.
Uh-oh.
I hated myself for having lied to my boss on my first day of work. I turned off the car and marched back into that museum.
You show him.
Can you imagine being the boss and being like, did you leave something? What do you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I'm on my way.
You brought in a lot of energy today. I was just like,
yeah.
Woo!
I was just decompressing.
Coming down.
Like, sharing an office with you. I hated myself for having lied to my boss my first day at work. Oh, yeah. My boss was surprised to see me back so soon. I lied to you, I said. I'm sorry. Claudie is my husband. Mary and Janelle are my sister wives. Together, we have 3 children, and I will always refer to these children as my children, since we are one family. My boss smiled. I had a feeling this was the case. She said,
what? How did she know?
But how did she know, though? I wouldn't even think that, because I don't give a shit about your fucking life.
Because polygamists in that area were probably somewhat common thing. And when you're like, oh, my husband and I live with his 2 sisters that look nothing like him or each other.
Yeah, like
his 2 handsome sisters.
Oh God, I mean Mary especially. Christine just talked her fucking ear off because she's nervous, so she just went on and on about her family, and now her boss knows way too much about her family life. It's like, I didn't need to know any of this. Yeah. Eventually, I had a feeling this was the case. She never judged me, and she never said a single bad word about my family or my lifestyle.
Eventually, she don't care.
She doesn't give a fuck.
She's there to work and get paid and
she's
go
like,
bye home.
She's like putting on her driving shoes right now to get the fuck home.
She's lacing up her sneakers after she took her pumps off.
Yeah, exactly.
She's gonna walk to the train station.
Eventually, I opened up to another woman at the museum. She was actually a little envious of the family support I had with my sister wife. No, she wasn't.
Sure. No, she was hiding in the exhibit. She's like, oh God, here she comes. Oh, hey, nice to meet you.
She was being polite, Christine. Sometimes people are just polite.
Oh, that sounds cool. Tell me more.
Yeah, that actually sounds really fun. Like, that's great. You have a lot of support. She imagined it would have been useful for her when she raised her children. She's also been wondering how I could accomplish so much at home and at work while raising children. After I'd been married to Claudie for several years, I was asked to represent our faith in a nonprofit organization, Principal Voices. Except for the FLDS, each sect of Mormon fundamentalism has 2 members on the board of Principal Voices.
Sounds like a cult.
Yeah, it's really culty. The mission of this organization is to educate others about polygamous families and culture. The group's goal is to empower both polygamous individuals and families, as well as to provide crisis referrals and response to those in the lifestyle. Principal Voices is the public face of polygamy. It exists to deal with issues not just inside our culture, but outside of it as well. The group handles inquiries from the media, requests for interviews, and assistance with research. It also interacts with the government on a regular basis, mostly through the governmental organization Safety Net.
It sounds like Scientology and like a little bit of that same internet program that Josh Duggar was using, where it's
yes. Did you watch that?
Christian men don't. I did.
It's
shiny happy people, right?
Since I am pretty talkative by nature and was getting comfortable talking about my faith, I was often asked to do interviews with the media. Principal Voices gave us extensive media training about how to field questions regarding abuse, sex, and our faith. We were taught how to skim the surface of the question, give a truthful answer without going into too much detail. Well, that's just great.
Yeah, exactly.
She's basically saying that this does exist, but they teach us how to not acknowledge it.
I'm gonna look this up.
Principal Voices
while you're reading, yeah.
All right. The underlying principle was to convey our message about our considered and mature choices to live in a plural life and to help people to understand our community. As a member of Principal Voices, I spent 2 years educating people about polygamy. I spoke at colleges and on the news, Jody. I became the spokesperson for our faith, and I loved it. After I had been on Principal Voices for a few years, I started to think that openness about our lifestyle might lead to more freedom. This realization coincided with an offer from a television journalist who was looking for... So this was Christine's fault. This whole thing was Christine's fault.
Oh. Well, everything's Christine's fault. Well, come on. I mean, please.
Did you find anything?
Yeah, so it was created... by Anne B. Wild, and with an E, Amanda. And it looks like it's still going on.
Oh, God, I was hoping that it was thriving.
Yeah.
It sounds great. Great. Okay. So the realization coincided with an offer from a television journalist who was looking for a polygamous family to interview. Principal Voices thought my family would be a perfect fit for the show. The adults held jobs. Just let that sit.
Sure.
The kids were
funny. She is funny.
She's got the jokes. I mean, yes, and the kids were healthy and happy. Let that sit for a second. There was no underage or incestuous marriages, except that all of you share the exact same bloodline.
Caleb Brush. It was a close one. I was just 19.
I was watching the episode. I think it was the McKelty's wedding, and it just kind of like the camera pans over the crowd, and Caleb's sitting there, and he looks like 65 years old.
Yeah. Was he wearing his dumb hat?
Yeah, he was wearing like camo to McKelty's wedding.
We know you're bald.
We get it. We get it. You love killing animals. All right. Also, I'm not
getting called out for my bookmark.
What?
It's a coupon from the mail. It is actually it's an old Etna.
My bookmark is this rolled up piece of Kleenex.
This is feeling very Polish. I love this.
It's like, good enough. It's very Janelle. Janelle would use these things.
Oh, Janelle is never on the
perfect. It's fun. It's awesome.
When someone gives her one for a gift, she's like, "Oh, look at this. This is fun."
It's fun.
Or I bet she gets like a book thong, Amanda. You know, those like little beads. Oh,
I don't know if you just wanted to be reminded, but she did go out to the boat last week. You guys need to like if you're only listening to this podcast, you have to go to Janelle's Instagram and look at this picture.
You really do.
It's so funny. It's the worst picture ever. It does look like a mistake.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay.
The adults held jobs. The kids were healthy and happy. There were no underage or incestuous marriages. We were a fairly average, stable, all-American family. Pass gasp.
I wouldn't have volunteered my family for this experience without first discussing it with Cody, Mary, and Janelle. Eventually, the 4 adults and our 6 eldest children flew to New York for the interview. Although we were running a risk.
Why did they act like they've never been to New York before when they went?
I think maybe they just didn't look up the first time they went.
Oh, it was Robin's first time in New York, so the other stuff didn't exist.
And she's so little, and her little bony back because she's only eating chicken lo mein because she wasn't hungry. Eventually, the 4 adults and our eldest 6 children flew to New York for the interview. Although we were running a risk appearing as a family in front of television cameras, the risk was tempered by the fact that the journalist didn't have an actual television program on the air yet. He was using our story as a demo or a promo that wouldn't be shown to the public. Thank God she explained that, what that was. A demo or like a promo.
We got it.
That's what they call it in the biz. The whole event seemed somewhat secretive and private, which was a great relief. Appearing on this program led us to a paradigm shift as a family. Suddenly, hiding out seemed less intimidating and less possible than it had before. The production crew mentioned doing a documentary show with our family. A documentary show. And even though we refused, it started to make us think about the possibilities of telling our story publicly and having to not work, and Cody can stay home and pretend that he's a businessman while we get a paycheck.
Yeah.
Although I was beginning to feel that it was time to take a public stand, I didn't think a documentary was the right format. While I didn't mind speaking to reporters about my own personal choices, opening our family to the world was really scary. I had legitimate concerns. I didn't want Cody to be taken away as my grandfather had been, and I didn't want anyone in the family to lose his or her job on account of our beliefs. Well, when Robin didn't have a job, she can't lose one that she doesn't have. Even though we turned down the offer to do an in-depth documentary, the family continued to discuss several possibilities for going public with our story.
But isn't that a lie? Because the show was meant to be a documentary, and then they turned it into a series. They thought they signed up for a document. Oh, yeah, they're lying. Okay.
This is probably what Cody told them, because I mean, he had to explain it to them like they're a woman. TV is a men's business, right? While none of these appealed to me, Cody began to realize that living openly was something he was being called to do, or he was just an attention whore and wanted to be on TV.
Yeah.
He wanted to help educate people about our lifestyle and to create more understanding and tolerant world for our children. Yes, that's what he wanted to educate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any documentary maker or television producer who wants to explore polygamy first goes to Principal Voices. For years, the woman who leads the organization, Ann Wild, has been fielding requests for families willing to tell their story to the public. There are very few families and individuals who want to participate in anything that could endanger, harm, or just expose their family, especially when it comes to large-scale media event. I was one of those people. I didn't mind the interviews that I participated in alone, but involving my whole family had until now remained out of the question.
Well, yeah, no, I understand that, because can you imagine doing an interview alongside Cody and Mary? Right. Janelle's not going to say anything anyway, but
well, I think it was too risky. And so Cody was like, fine, have Christine do it. She'll probably make a couple $100. Go ahead.
She's a chat.
But once he's like, wait, a TV show? And there's going to be men on the crew, bros, friends.
Bros. God, I can't
fucking
wrestle. Wait until season 18. We can't stress that enough. That it's been said that all of Cody's scenes are pretty much going to be him broing out with his friends. And
he is going to be ADHD, hyperactive, diving into Ken's dick when he wants to wrestle, just like he did in that episode.
It's going to be
amazing. Benny, 90 Day Fiance, flying across that thing. That was Cody just...
God, it's
head
really
on.
Good.
I was approached a few times about telling our family story. One day I told Cody how often I was asked about coming out as a family and sharing our life with the public. Why did you tell me about any of these requests? Cody asked. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Aside from the interview we had done in New York and a brief segment on the BBC that wasn't shown in America, it hadn't occurred to me to tell Cody about the requests for interviews. Probably because she was afraid.
Yeah.
And also he probably wasn't around that much for her to be like, oh, hey, guess what happened today?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I think she was the favorite wife at this point.
Well, yeah, but he still got it. Well, Mary, I don't know. He and Mary were pretty hot and heavy there.
Yeah, they did. They were pretty horny for each other. But I think they're both just acting.
That's true. While Cody was very supportive of my role in Principal Voices and shared my views about opening up our society, I didn't imagine that the rest of our family would want to go public. The next time you're approached about telling our family story, let me know, Cody said.
Oh, God.
Sure. I'm sure that's exactly how he said it.
Can I have this one thing also, Cody? Can I have this one thing?
Yeah, no. By coincidence, I'd been contacted through Principal Voices by an independent producer, Tim Gibbons, who was looking to do a reality show about a polygamous family. Cody liked the sound of a project and made an appointment to meet Tim in person. Shortly after the initial meeting,
his friend Tim.
Timmy.
Tim Gibbons is now his
Timmy.
friend. Yes.
Timmy. Calls him
Timmy.
Tim came to our home to talk to us about his ideas. We were immediately impressed with Tim's vision for the show. He had observed the ways in which polygamists were often ridiculed and felt a reality show could go a long way to changing that. Sure, he was trying to change society.
Yeah. He was looking at the best interests of polygamy for sure.
He didn't look at Cody,
not exploit you,
like with his coif in the mirror, and was like, "Oh, this is TV gold."
Yeah.
He thought that if he portrayed our family as honestly and as openly as possible and showed him how essentially normal we are, that people might begin to understand that there's not a whole lot of difference between most polygamists and the rest of the world. Tim assured us that the crew would be small and unobtrusive. He said that they would respect our wishes wherever we needed to deal with something off camera. Tim's attitude and outlook were so honorable that he put the entire family at ease. Naturally, there was a great deal of debate, but in the end, we agreed to participate. Pass, gas.
It was right. It was the right time to tell our story. Warren Jeffs was on trial, and then we know you talked about it enough. The news was flooded with pictures of him marrying underaged girls. Underaged girls. What's the right grammar there?
They were talking about in the past, so it should have been past tense aged.
Okay, that's what I thought. We found the
first mistake in this book, right?
Yeah, I know. We needed to provide a counterpoint to that image. There's no way Christine wrote any of these words, by the way. There's a lot of big words in here. Mm-hmm. We wanted to let the world know there was, we don't condone forcible or underage marriage. We do not support any organization that permits a woman to be taken from her family and reassigned to another husband. These things are not acceptable, and they have no place in our world. When we consented to the program, we told our children that they should start letting all their friends know about our family. Their closest friends already knew about our lifestyle. My oldest, Aspen, was really stressed about telling some of her friends, but when she did, it went really smoothly, and everyone was very, very accepting of her. However, Madison, Janelle's oldest child, had a totally different experience. One of the girls in her class asked her if being a polygamist meant that her father molested her. She had to marry her uncle and couldn't wear the color red. Madison was disgusted and horrified.
After all, Janelle only wore red button-ups to this point, so we know.
I know. Obviously, you can wear red. I mean, it's first second that we see her. She's in the red button color. But she was able to demystify the truth about her family and make her friends understand that her home life is pretty normal and completely healthy. Once Aspen, Madison, and most of our other children had told all of her friends about our family, they could bring larger groups of friends over to the big house, which they loved, the biggie housey. The kids thought it was really cool that they could lead their friends through the house and show them the different apartments and introduce them to their different moms.
Not through Mary's house, babe.
Oh,
no. We got to go outside all the way down and back up again.
While the kids were saddled with the problem of opening up to their friends, the adults had a different problem. We had to tell our families, who naturally worried that we might inadvertently expose them on the show. My family agreed with my decision to go public, but they were concerned that I'd bring them into it. They weren't ready to be outed. I had to work hard to convince them that I would never dishonor their wishes and mention their names or show them on television. As we prepared to do our show, we took steps to hide certain identifying details so that our family would stay out of sight, both on television and online. While we knew it would be impossible to protect our family's privacy entirely, we attempted to do our best and hoped that the media would respect our boundaries. While my family quickly came to terms with my participation in a reality show, I'm afraid that most of the members of our faith were disappointed in our decision to go public. The plural lifestyle is considered sacred, and many people feel that exhibiting it for the public is like casting pearls before swine. fuck does that mean? While I am sad to have angered and disappointed so many in my faith, I do not understand how they can tolerate the fact that the world thinks that we all marry off our 14-year-old girls to older men. Now, with Madison's case, she was actually 16 when she met Caleb Brash, and they waited till she was 18.
Gross.
I mean, sorry, that's exactly what this lifestyle is, Christine.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot understand why they are content to live in secrecy and fear. If I had to upset them to make the world a better place, this was a risk I was willing to take. When filming began, it was really strange. It took me a while to get used to having a camera around. Tim would interview us about day-to-day activities, and I'd be at a loss to see why anyone would be interested in hearing about groceries, teacher conferences, and cleaning. It was difficult to know how to behave with the cameras rolling. It seems trivial to be concerned about superficial things, but if I knew the crew was showing up for an early morning shoot, I worried about how I would look without my makeup. Should I do my hair? Can I let them see me in my pajamas? Mm-hmm. These were totally new concerns in my life. Well, apparently Janelle didn't feel the same way. Janelle's like, yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my apron on. Just come on in.
I have my one giant roller in the front for my bangs. So pass gas.
Suddenly, even the most basic things got a lot more complicated. Life was pleasantly chaotic before, but the show really added a new dimension. I worried about my kids' outfits and their uncombed hair. I realized that some of their rooms might look unacceptable to a television audience. I had to repaint them and buy new bedding and bunk beds. I also realized how dirty the house was. I'm a pretty aggressive cleaner, but with 5 kids and another on the way, I was pregnant with Truly when we started shooting.
Who's Truly?
Became a job in itself.
Wait, who? I've never heard that. Who's Truly? It's Cody. Cody is not the dad.
I kind of remember him saying, in 7 months, Truly won't matter anymore.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I thought it was like a cat or something, but I don't know. Cleaning became a job in itself. Of course, there was an upside to all of this. There's nothing wrong with a cleaner house and nicer furniture.
So the version that we see in the pilot
Robin knows that.
Well, yeah, but the version that we see of their house in the pilot is, according to Christine, a cleaner house and nicer furniture.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Again, I don't think it's her fault. I mean, that money had to go to furnish Robin's house.
Well, of course.
Because she had nothing.
Robin's house was shitty too, though. It was like depressing.
Christine would have loved that. It was bigger and nicer than everyone else's.
Well, yeah, but it's Robin.
Once we started filming, I had to learn how to be comfortable talking about my lifestyle in front of the camera. My previous media training had instructed me to get the message across about the choices that I made in accepting polygamy. But now I could be as open as I wanted about my own marriage. It was a strange transition to share everything from my love for Cody and my children to struggles both inside the family and outside it. Of course, frankness isn't always advisable. While I was comfortable talking honestly on camera for Sister Wives, I was hesitant to be as open during our press tours. By the time we began publicity for the show, I had learned to trust that Tim and his staff would be honorable when they had edited our footage. They didn't change what we had said for dramatic effect, and they always conveyed the meaning of our confessions exactly as we wished. However, I didn't have as much faith in the outside media. I quickly discovered that they would edit our answers to suit their purposes and tease something salacious from our story. We made a point of addressing sex in the first episode of our show. They don't go weird. We wanted to get it over with so there would be no further questions. We were willing to do this, especially because we are certain that nothing improper would be made of our words. However, during our press junkets, as the media calls it, the media always hammered away at the sex question. We had to find countless ways of deflecting it. Journalists always wanted to know why we were willing to talk about sex, however briefly on the show, but not in an interview.
They don't talk about it on the show.
They just said the one thing. Yeah, we don't sleep with each other. It's just like...
What's the question?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what is the media asking them? Yeah, he has sex with all 4 of them, and it's disgusting. And
they just want to know, like, so how much more is he having with Robin than you guys, I think.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, connect the dots with the herpes here.
Right. Who's patient 0?
Yes.
Pretty sure it was Robin.
Yeah, you can see, like, who he's currently like banging based on how fresh the herpes is.
It was hard for us to tell a person directly that we didn't entirely trust his or her intentions. Other television shows and news programs have their own agenda, making it impossible to guarantee we came across as we wished. This made talking about sex completely out of the question. The media tours were insane. Insane, Amanda. It was like believer mania out there. Was just right?
Yeah. Oh man.
Nearly every day we had a packed schedule of back-to-back interviews. We got tired, but we still had to remain on guard. We needed to watch every word that came out of our mouths so that nothing could be twisted or misconstrued.
Yeah, they definitely know. Yeah, you really kept your side of the street clean there, all of you. None of you are painted in bad lights at all.
You know, Cody was like, "Watch what you say." Meanwhile, he's like,
Cody must have been
he's the worst.
Evil during this, yeah, for sure.
We wanted the proper message to get out there, the positive ones that pertain to love and family. Despite our best intentions, from time to time we said the wrong things and had to do a little damage control.
Like when Cody talked about the wedding dress. I got a bombshell.
Guys.
I got a bombshell. Yeah.
I went with her for the dress. I knew.
Wow, that's just real nice. Like you gave a crap what I wore on our wedding day.
Are you serious?
Right now?
Despite our best intent. Oh, okay. But this can only be expected. Obviously, they meant Cody, and they're like, "Oh, but it's expected." Like,
yeah,
no problem.
He just kind of blurts it out. Yeah.
We are 5 normal, middle American adults. Bye-bye, with little or no experience in the way of media. On the media tours, it was our goal to get across the basic facts about our family and debunk the myths that most people ascribe to us. No matter what a journalist asked, we tried to steer the conversation back to something positive. We wanted to come across true to our natures and beliefs, as well as strong, independent adults who've come to our faith of our own volition. We wanted to make it perfectly clear that our children make their own choices. They don't have to live polygamy if they don't want to. And most of all, we wanted to convey the stability and love of our family. During our press visit to New York, we appeared on Nightline. I thought the interview conducted by Don Harris had gone really well, and I was pleased. That night it aired, Cody and I were in our hotel room. Okay, parentheses. For no reason whatsoever. It was completely surreal sitting in a fancy hotel in New York City watching myself on TV and thinking about all the people in the same city watching the same show at the same time. End parentheses. When the announcer introduced our segment, it was clear that she thought we were ridiculous. Her tone of voice and facial expressions made her contempt for us clear. She didn't hide the fact that she thought our lifestyle was wrong.
I want to find that. You passed
I do too. She felt like he was a family.
Yeah. He's like married to like all 4 of them and they all like him, I guess. After this less than reassuring introduction, they cut away to the interview, which included wonderful clips of our children. When they returned to the announcer, she was smiling. Her whole demeanor had changed. We clearly made an impact. She doesn't give a fuck either, Christine. I remember thinking about
watching you.
Yeah.
She took a break and like probably took a shot of whiskey.
She probably didn't even watch the actual like footage.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. She wasn't watching. Yeah.
I remember thinking about the millions of people who just watched the same thing and how we might have influenced their thinking for the better. Not all journalists are as kind and considerate as Dan Harris was. After a particularly long day of interviews on our first press tour, I had reached my breaking point. I need this crow outside my fucking window to shut the fuck up.
It's your turn
Do you
now.
hear it? Yeah. One of the journalists had been pretty brutal to me. He asked me too many questions about whether or not our lifestyle or the show was fair to our kids, which it's not. He kept trying to get me to admit that I had ruined my children's lives by putting them on TV and exposing them to the public, which you did. Yeah. He really wanted to force my hand and get me to slip up and say something he could use against me. When the interview was over, I nearly broke down. "I need my people," I said. Then my family gathered around me. We joined together in prayer. I drew strength from them and was able to refocus. On tour, we really helped to strengthen one another and build one another up, which is phenomenal. Since we are able to travel openly as a family, sometimes I hope all polygamous families will do one day. We can be there for every moment. We rely on one another for support during the tough questions and the long days. We are one another's safety net. We are stronger than I'd ever imagined. Do you want to? Can we finish this out?
Let's finish it up.
Okay.
Just got a page or two.
Okay. However, traveling as a family is not always easy. Being on the road as a group of 5 adults is a completely new and unexpected experience, and it has made our differences more obvious. We've learned that we really have to meet individual needs, and that as a group we have to listen to one another and accommodate each other. We have had to learn how to express in a polite and constructive manner when somebody's behavior is bothering us.
I learned, for example, that sometimes I really embarrass Janelle. It can be kind of goofy in public. Sorry, I can be goofy. She is goofy. I thought it was all in good fun, but I realized that my actions are embarrassing to her and I feel terrible about this.
So funny. Janelle's such a bitch.
Yeah, she is. I mean, I don't believe this is a dark time for Janelle, though. Yeah. What she thinks is acceptable in public is far different from what I think is acceptable. We've had to come to a place where we can both have fun and be relaxed while respecting each other's boundaries. Well, Janelle does like a good time now. I mean,
let me check out her Instagram.
I mean, look at that what salty water life.
Yeah.
Right.
And then last week she told us about asparagus in the air fryer. Who knew? I like to roast other veggies too.
Who knew? Now that we've figured out how to address our various needs and differences, I've grown to love doing things together. I feel a force of power when we're in a big group. We really are dynamic. Sometimes I feel like we could conquer the world. That's cute. Cute, Christine.
Yeah.
Part of this empowering feeling comes from the freedom of being open as a family. I know that our decision has made us stronger adults and more secure, not just in our individual marriages, but as a single family unit. I'm especially happy for our kids. No longer do they have to duck awkward questions from curious schoolmates or strangers who wonder how so many siblings could be so close in age. Even now in their Las Vegas public school, they are proud to call one another brother and sister. Now Janelle's kids confidently introduce me to their friends as one of my moms. I think openness has brought them closer together. They are a tightly knit group, unafraid to hang out together during school. They are happy to draw attention to themselves and their special relationships. Their classmates refer to them as the Cullens, the vampire clan from the Twilight books.
We'd never have known
it's
that.
So funny. Together, they're a force to be reckoned with. Oh, and that's so funny, the Cullens. I bet you Madison thought of that one.
Madison loves Twilight.
Actually, that seems like a very McKelty,
yeah, totally.
Uh-huh. Our decision to live openly has allowed our entire family to come into our own. I love meeting all the kids' friends, and I absolutely love talking to my sister wife's children, places, and introducing them as taking them places and introducing them as my kids. Oh, wait, that's weird, because I thought she never took Robin's kids anywhere. Or saw them as her kids.
She wasn't allowed to. Are you kidding? Are you serious right now? Are you actually serious right now?
I enjoy being open about being married to Cody, and we do many things as a married couple, and he can openly say we are all his wives. It's fun going places together and being recognized. People meet us and talk about how we have changed their minds and their perspective on families and relationships.
Yeah, they tell you that. That's what people tell you.
Right.
No one wants to live the way
they really do. I feel humbled and overjoyed at the response we receive about our family. People grateful that we opened up about our lives so they could see this plural family choice.
And it ends there, which seems like it's like this should continue a little longer. But it's like, yeah, and I'm done. I met my word count.
Now, who do we have next time?
Robin.
Well, Robin. So Robin gets the last chapter, right?
Yeah, and it's the longest one. And then the epilogue by Cody.
Well, we need a man to wrap it up for us and explain.
Yeah, we should see if Nick will come in and read Cody's.
Oh my God, yes, because he's a voiceover artist. That would be amazing.
That would actually be amazing, but he doesn't have.
He's not going to come. He's not gonna come on.
He's gonna say no. He'll be like, he have to pass on that.
Keon said, dog, busy, life,
so busy.
Can't work. No.
All right, let's put our bookmarks back in.
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
My Etna bookmark right there.
Yeah. Sorry. Hi guys that are late. We know it's not always going to be this early, or else
my mom.
But
Jean is here this week.
Hi, Jean.
This week is really awesome.
It's awesome. Really let's wrap it up.
Yep. Okay, so you're going to check out We Love to Hate TV, because this week we're talking about Love Off the Grid, which is just a great show. Put it on in the background. It's just dumb, kind of 90 Day meets Survivor Man or whatever the hell. And then, of course, Sister Wives. We're blasting through season 7.
Janelle's going to climb a mountain, and we have to watch this happen.
Climb every mountain. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Amanda Loves to Hate Teen Mom. Mom versus Mom. Gary. And don't forget to smash that like. Share, 156 of you. Smash those likes. And anything else, Amanda?
No, just, give us some love. Check out our Patreon, and we will see you guys next Sunday for Robin's chapter.
Oh, womp womp. Love ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, guys, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for joining us today on our We Love to Hate Everything channel. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Give us a like or even a comment, and click on that bell if you want notifications, because you never know when we might pop up and go live. Please check out our other 2 podcasts on Patreon, where we snark on even more TV, movies, and pop culture. We got Total Request Podcast, that's patreon.com/trpod, and We Love to Hate TV, patreon.com/Love to Hate TV. Thanks again, and we will see you next time.